Hello. Testing 1 2 3. Let me know if you can hear me. This is the third attempt at a stream today. So the first time it failed because my mic cable fell out of the mic. This time, the second time it failed because my internet connection just ran away from me, like it just disconnected, like F you. So, yeah, internet disconnected. Mic cable fell out of the mic the first stream. This is not fun. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't mean to cause this much confusion. Thank you for. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you for coming. Hopefully there's no more issues this time around. To the people who are new into this stream, there is a 5-minute segment that was done prior to the stream, so go check out that segment if you are lost as to what is happening right now. So this is the real, hopefully this is the real stream, and hopefully nothing else goes wrong here, and we're just going to pick up where we left off. If you're confused as to where we began, check out the video. I will probably link it down in the description box below later. There's a 5-minute segment that we just did before, the internet went out. So this is going to be the real stream. So, let's get back into what we were talking about before. So we were taking a look at the 4-hourly mean reversion channel, and we were talking about the possibility of a capitulation candle. So now we are looking at the daily to see if there is a possibility for there to be capitulation back into the 30k, even 20-something K range. And the answer to that is, a little bit complicated, because every other time that we have touched the bottom band of the mean reversion channel since the inception of Bitcoin, we have always bounced back from the bottom band to the top band. So assuming that that is the case, then this touch right here would have been the final straw, and we should be going to touch the upper band now. But at the same time, if there is some kind of a capitulation candle, then you are going to go back to the 30k range. So in order to figure out if we're going to have some kind of a capitulation candle, we're going to need to take a look at the funding rate. So what the funding rate tells you is how much of the leverage in the market right now is consisted of longs. And as you can see by the fact that there are so many greens where the price, the funding rate, is negative, you can see that majority of people are going short. So if anything, we should have a short squeeze to the upside instead of a capitulation candle to the downside. Now, could I be wrong? Absolutely. But at the same time, we take a look at open interest. So let's go back there and let's take a look at the open interest. I forgot. Was it this one? No, it's not this one. Oh wow, there was a chart. I forgot where's that chart already. This one. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So you can see that open interest at the moment is at a similar level as the May 2021 crash, or you could say the November/December 2021 crash. Open interest is still at around that level. So with that in mind, given that we have seen capitulation candles on both those occasions, do we think that something similar is going to happen this time? So again, this ties it back to funding rate, and we have to take a look, right? Back then, most of the funding rate was very positive, right? It was very high. There was a lot of over-leveraged longs. So it made sense that, there would have been some kind of a capitulation candle. Not only that, but you look at market structure, And clearly you can see some form of why, you know, a capitulation candle would have happened back then and not here. So, you know, the conclusion is, could a capitulation candle happen? Yeah, but chances are low, right? In order to protect yourself, I would just recommend having like a hard stop loss. And more importantly than that is to just take it day by day, you know. I assume that most people watching this stream are going to be traders and less so investors, right? I'm sure as a trader, we are a mix of both, where we invest and we trade at the same time. But if you're a trader, then you understand the importance of a stop loss. In this case, I would set my stop like just at around 36,000, like 35,500, right? Give or take, around that range. You know, if you go down below this range, could you see a chance of a capitulation candle? Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you break 34k. That's like dangerous territory that you do not want to get to. And let's figure out a couple of other things. Yeah, it really doesn't help to have like a trashy internet connection, because especially when you're live streaming, doesn't help at all. So if we go take a look at 34k, right? So that was the candle back here, right? So let's zoom into that candle and let's take a look. So that honestly looks kind of like an unfinished auction. So some part of me believes that we will, you know, revisit that area, especially that candle, because there is an unfinished auction there. But at the same time, if you zoom into the 1 hourly, so let's zoom into the 1 hourly on that one. So that was at 34k, whoops. So that was at 34k. So there was a second candle that came. Oh wait, no, this is 37. What am I talking about? Hold on a minute. Right. That's the one I should be looking at. Right, so let's take a look, right? Is there unfinished auction? Technically there is, right? You only came back down to here, but not here. So is there a risk that we will revisit that area? Honestly, I'm not counting on it. Right, again, just as in the beginning of the stream, I mentioned that currently you're just at a range, right? Range high. And this blue box right here, that's your range low. So is there reason to panic? Not really. If anything, you know, if you do come back down below this area, this would be a good opportunity to go long. Because if you take a look at the 4 hourly chart, you have relatively equal lows over here. So whenever you see relatively equal lows, always expect them. If they get purged basically just means like if price breaks below those lows, then you're going to want to long, because here's the justification, right? Most of retail are going to be looking at that and they're going to be saying, oh hey, look, that's strong support, right? Price found support there twice. So if you break below support, the common retail ideology is to short the breakdown, right? Just like how if you break above resistance, the common retail ideology is to break, you know, buy the breakout. So do you see like what is the issue with that? Like that works, trust me, that works, but not on, you know, horizontal resistance, right? The issue with that is that the market makers know exactly what you're thinking. So if the price breaks down, all of a sudden you have a lot of willing sellers at very low prices. Guess what the market makers are going to do? They're going to cause you to lose money. How are they going to cause you to lose money? They reverse the price up. So then everybody who went short here are trapped. They either add to their short positions as it keeps going up until they get liquidated, or they, you know, just get stopped out, you know, or maybe they get liquidated, which again plays into the part of price, you know, going up sharply after you purge lows, similarly to how price goes down sharply right here, goes down sharply after you purge highs, similar theory. So if anything, right, if you do get back to the 37k range, that is going to be prime opportunity for you to go long. So something like that, you know, you target a previous high, something like that, you know. Heck, you could even target the range high, because remember, range low, ranges are very simple, right? It doesn't get simpler than ranges. When it hits the range low, you go long. When it hits the range high, you go short. It's basically just that. So for those of you wondering if we will see a capitulation candle, hopefully this clears up most of your concerns about things, right? And where we stand on a macro, macro level. As a bonus, I'm going to take a look at the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves as well, along with you guys live. And for those of you wondering, I did go through this in the private Discord group, but not yet on any other channel. But since we're talking about a macro time frame picture thing, might as well talk about it on stream. So you can see that on the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves, you have found support. In fact, I usually like to use this on the Bitstamp chart. So let's go onto the Bitstamp chart just to we're a little bit more accurate. So you found somewhat of a support at that logarithmic growth curve band like area right there. So is there reason to believe that you're going to keep going down from here? Absolutely. But if you do go down from here, you have to figure out where is the next zone of your sort of logarithmic support. That's going to be somewhere in the high, mid 20s, right, at about 25k to 26k. Is that a possibility? Yes. But do you really think? With so many, factors of confluence, right? You have the MRC, you have Bollinger Bands, you have... Actually, I wanted to show you guys something that is related to the CCI, right? So this bottom thing here, that's the CCI. I forgot where I drew it. Yeah, I forgot which chart I drew it on. I presume it's the Bybit chart. Was it the Bybit one? Nah, it's okay. I'll just draw it again. I believe it was the CCI. So if we remove, just let me redo the settings a bit, because it's been a while since I've taken a look at the CCI. So let's remove the background. Let's go on to, I believe this happened on the tree day, I suppose. So let me just try to draw it out for you guys without confusing you guys too much. But let me bring up the highlighter pattern. It's just an observation right? It doesn't mean anything. Definitely it doesn't mean that we're going to be pumping after this, but it is an observation nonetheless, and that is literally what I do for a living, right? To make observations about the crypto market, right? So pay attention to this part right here, and pay attention to the CCI, right? It's going down, yeah? And then you have capitulation right there. That's your capitulation. And then you go up to make a secondary high. So you go up to make a secondary high, right? So that's your secondary high, which we will consider, yeah, this is the one, right? And then you reset. So notice how that's like pattern number 1, number 2, number 3, right? So let's take a look again. That's number 1, right? You're going down during capitulation. That's capitulation right there. You get that low. And then at the moment, something like that. It's just an observation. Again, does not mean anything, but it is fun to observe things like this. During times when I'm unsure of, the Bitcoin, just at a higher time frame pattern, I tend to just bring up all sorts of weird indicators that I otherwise wouldn't be using, and try to see if, I'll come up with my theory first, of course. Because if you start looking at indicators first, then it's really just like confirmation bias. It's not really like an observation anymore. So first things first, you bring up your theory first. My theory was that we are at a macro accumulation range low, and there's no reason to be panicking. So then I bring up other indicators to confirm that theory. So let me just remove all this stuff, because hopefully I've made my point clear. So my theory was that we are in a macro accumulation range low. What do I mean by that? Again, remember when I talked about, let me just remove the logarithmic growth curves. That's the one. So remember when I talked about, that's your range low, that's your range high. If you look at it from this perspective, you can see that this is, according to retail, would be a giant bull flag, right? Because bullish, and then you have a bull flag, right? And you can see that there is a clearly defined range high and a clearly defined range low. So could this just be another, you know, reaccumulation before we see 150 or 200,000 Bitcoin. Currently, that is my opinion, right? There's no reason to be getting bearish at range lows. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is what I mean by when in doubt, zoom out. And remember, if you haven't watched that stream that I like, that 5 minutes of the stream that I did before this, go watch that. So partway through that stream, the internet connection went out, so I had to restart this stream. So currently, if you have, you know, gained some sort of value from this one, I want you to really comment out in the comment section, zoom out, right? Or like macro, yeah, comment the word macro. It's a really small gesture, but really helps out the YouTube algorithm, and it lets me know that you want to see more stuff like this, right? More live streams like this. And while you're at it, drop a like on the stream, or drop a like on this video, depending on whenever, you know, when you're watching this. Now that I'm done with my Bitcoin analysis, I'm just going to go through like a few updates on coins that I called on Wednesday or Monday. I don't remember when, but I'm just going to go through and update some of them. And you know, in the meantime, I want you guys to type me your questions, right? If there's any coins that you want me to take a look at. And key note, very key, very important, do not show me coins that look absolutely terrible or just are meme coins. Show me coins that you think are going to perform well, right? That's the coins that we want to look at. That's going to be the coins that's going to be most productive for the rest of us watching this. So show those coins and I'll have a look at them. Of course, I'm not going to be able to go through all of them, but either that or drop me some questions, right? This is a Q&A stream, and I'm going to try to help you guys in a personal way. So show me coins and throw me questions. So right off the bat, I'm seeing a lot of talk about Lunar. Either that or it's just the same guy spamming it and I'm not aware of it. Lunar, hey, we're at a new all-time high, baby. I told you guys. Again, just to prove it, I talked about this. Lunar is definitely going to make a new all-time high, right? What's up? Lunar, I'm pretty sure it's going to push for a new all-time high. Bam. Brilliant. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Right now it's forming a range at the new all-time high, trying to find support on the previous all-time high, I believe. Yep. So is there continuation? Personally, there could be. We'll figure this out. But boys, we did it. We caught this trade at, like, we caught this trade on Monday, I think, and that's the proof right there. You know, you just hit the target of 28% in the course of, let's see here, one day, in just a day. Boys, we did it. And guys, I don't appreciate you guys spamming, yeah? Don't spam. Just type it once, or like type it once every like 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, let's do it, boys. This is why you watch the streams. Of course, if you want more, check out a private Discord group. That's where I'm calling the exact entries and exits for all of these. But otherwise, brilliant. So, you know, let's zoom out. Let's zoom out and let's figure out, you know, if there's more upside to this one. If it is going to indeed hit my $140 target. So, in order to figure that out, first things first, I bet you guys are wondering like how I came up with 140. So, you draw a fib, swing high, swing low, 140. That's the 1.618 extension on the fib, which is a very reasonable target for most coins that are in all-time highs. So that's how I came up with 140, and 160 is the 2 Fibonacci extension, which again is nothing for coins that are having a cup and handle pattern, right? Cup, handle, bam, right? It's nothing. Heck, even if you wanted to compare this like traditional retail would say the breakout of the cup and handle is from the bottom of the cup to the top of the cup, and then you put it on the lid of the cup, and you can see that brings us a measured move of about 160 as well. So are we going to hit 160? Maybe. Are we going to hit 140? I think so. At least with much more certainty than 160. And if you're wondering, is this a coincidence? No, it's not. This is the market makers. The market makers are the ones moving the market, and it just so happens that the fibs is something that they use. So I really suggest learning how to use fibs. And again, you want to learn that, check out the private Discord group. Oh, sorry, I just had to do it. The link is in the description box below. But anyways, let's figure it out. Is it going to go for a new all-time high? You know, first things first. Secure your profit, right? There is no guarantee that Lunar is just not going for like a liquidity sweep at previous highs. In fact, let us take a look at the heat map and let's see what this is telling us. This will paint a very different picture. Man, listening to some Boris Brecker while streaming, best stuff. Right, we were looking at the heat maps, so let's try to figure out if, okay, wait, first things first, let's figure out where is the point of resistance for, let's go into the 4 hourly. It would help a lot if I wasn't lagging. Hello, you gotta load, boy, you gotta load. Okay, so Lunar just got rejected off of this sell wall over here, which, fair enough. In fact, let me just turn off HD. Oh, wait, was HD already off? I know I can't see anything. Okay, so HD was indeed already off. So let's have a look. Okay, so that's definitely not an unfinished auction. So okay, so we have a low. That shouldn't be an unfinished auction as well. So like, it shouldn't. Oh wait, no, that is an unfinished auction if I've ever seen one. Okay, so the only points of resistance for Lunar, at least from what I can see, no, really, like the only point of resistance for Lunar is right here at 105 and 110. If you zoom in, that is a lot of Lunar. Like, hold on. That is a lot of Lunar. That's a 16k Lunar sell right there. 25k even. Right, okay, it's no wonder you got rejected here. So yeah, the only 2 real points of resistance for Lunar is at, give or take, 105, 110, and a little bit at 120. Beyond that, there's nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. So if you break 120 on Lunar, that's, you go real parabolic. But currently, you just need to get through. Like 120 doesn't even really matter, right? Let's zoom in. Okay, fine, 15k. That's respectable. But okay, fine. This is respectable as well. So the only real wall that you need to get through is this one at 105. Right after you break this one, 110 shouldn't be too much of an issue. You break 110 and you go into real price discovery. So right now, is there cause for concern for Lunar? Should you take your profit here? In my opinion, yes, you should take your profit here. Not all, of course. If you are an investor in Lunar, for example, I bought Lunar at $7 and I thought I was way too late. I think my average entry was like 7.6 or something, and I thought I was way too late until this happened. So if you're an investor, take some profit here, of course, because you always want to take profit when something is, at the once it breaks a new all-time high. Always take your profit, some at least, secure some. Because I like to explain it this way. If you don't take your profit, the market makers are going to take it from you. Remember what I said previously about highs getting swept and lows getting swept. After you swept the highs, where do you think is the easiest point of liquidity? Right? We look at the Lunar Heat Map and have a look. Right? All the liquidity is below. There is not much liquidity up top. But on that note though, if you do come back to about $86, that's going to be a real nice area to pick up some Lunar. As you can see, you have like a buy wall in terms of support right there. And of course the next area is big area is going to come at about $71, but let's not talk about that one first. For now, Lunar. So just give me a moment while I post this one onto Twitter. So Twitter and the old private Discord group, because I try to help everybody. Remember to check out the private Discord group while you're at it. Oh, that's not the right screenshot. So basically, once you break 110, 105, it's like going to be true price discovery from that point onwards. Right, so that's Lunar done. So secure your profit here, and then secure some at, if you want to secure some at 110, sure, go for it. But my take on this is once you break 110, there's nothing stopping it really from hitting 140, which is going to be a 74% return. So that's my take on Lunar. I'm seeing a lot of FTM pop up as well. Why are you guys so interested in FTM? Like, why? I don't understand the fascination with you guys and FTM. So FTM again, range low, range high. Do you see it? Range high, that's your range low. So currently you just swept that low. So should you expect some kind of a yeah, you already did bounce. Like, remember, this is my bread and butter. This is my bread and butter right here. When you sweep highs and lows, these are the easiest entries to get to, right? Easiest. You sweep that low right there. Just enter at that low, instant 10% bounce in less than 9 hours. Bread and butter, I'm telling you guys. Learn these market maker concepts. You'll be so much better for it. You will be so much better for it. Like, for example, I was playing around with this idea of Bitcoin just now on the 1 minute, where let me just explain my thought process as to how I thought about this one. So first things first, if you go on to the 15 minute, you can see that there are 2 highs over there, 3 highs actually, 1, 2, 3. So I was seeing the fact that Bitcoin broke above these highs. So that's a purge of the highs. And so immediately my mind goes to shorting. I don't look to go long because it broke through resistance or whatnot. I'm looking to short. So you break through the highs, I'm looking to short. So what do I look for? I immediately jump onto the 1 minute. And yes, you heard me right, AOC trades on the 1 minute. You go onto the 1 minute. From the point where it broke those previous highs, you want to look for the first break of structure. The first break of market structure. So in this instance, you can see that throughout this move right here, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, high, lower, low, right? That's your first instance of a break of structure. Immediately afterwards, you want to look at the last candle, right? The bearish order block right there. That's your bearish order block, right? That's going to be your cue for an entry, right? Because it shows that market structure has been broken. It indicates that the market is interested, the market makers are interested in bringing the price down, lower. So then what you do is you look for a retrace. Oftentimes you can determine this using a fib. I tend to like the 0.705. That's like the golden sweet spot for me, right? So that's the entry, right? As you can see, I drew it, somewhat close, right? For all intents and purposes, let's assume it's the 0.705. So you fill it, stop above the previous highs, but give it a little bit of a leeway, right? You don't want to put it right at the previous highs. Then something like this can happen where you get just wicked out for no reason and then the market shows its true direction, right? Or so something like that, and then your target is going to be at the original. Let me just go back down to the 2 minute. So you can see that there is a session POC, a developing session POC over here, and you have a previous swing low over here, right? That's like the original area where it first began. So that's going to be your first target, right? That's going to be your first TP. And you can see from basically the point where we got in less than 2 hours, we've already gotten 2%, right? And this is a 4.5 risk to reward ratio trade. So you can make real good money catching these little moves in a 1 minute, but you got to know what you're looking for, right? You always want to base your trades off of the higher time frame first before you jump into the lower time frame. Notice how I was paying attention to the 15 before I jumped into the 2 or the 1. Now, I'm not going to lie, today's the first day that I've been drinking LaCroix water. This is so much more interesting than just plain old sparkling water. If any one of you has drank LaCroix water and you have any good flavors to recommend me, let me know in the comment section below. I am really interested. Like, sparkling water has been a thing for me lately. It's like it's like a calorie-free, healthy way to spice it up a bit instead of just drinking plain old water. It's just interesting, If you guys haven't tried out LaCroix water, check it out. It is very interesting. It's like plain water with like a hint of flavor, like a hint. Anyways, that's going to be like the first take. And because we are assuming that price is going to continue on its downward path, then that low over there at 38,800, that's going to be the second take. And my final take is going to be at that low right there. Assuming that that is the range low, either there or there. So all in all, it's going to add up to like an 8.7 risk to reward ratio trade, which is pretty good in my book. So that's just a quick lesson on how I look for scalps, especially to the members of the private Discord group. In fact, let me mark down when I started talking about this. So about 30 minutes I started talking about this. I should definitely let the members of the private Discord group know about this to watch this. LaCroix is worth the hype. Yeah, honestly, I saw some influencers drinking it, and yeah, I saw some influencers talking about it, and I was like, yeah, you know what, let's just give it a try. I mean, it's just water, but like, wow, okay, this is very interesting water. So that's like a very quick 5-minute lesson that is, for those of you watching, that in itself is going to make you a lot of money. So, like, yeah, cherish this. When I'm on live, I tend to teach a lot, right? I tend to dive a lot deeper into things than I would if I were, let's say, pre-recording a video. So seriously, if you guys enjoy these live streams, drop a like. It's a lot of value that you guys are getting. Speaking of price discovery, are you confident that there will be no resistance after 110? So, taking a look at this, if something builds up, then we'll have to, you know, monitor it. But this is the beauty of a heat map, right? After, you know, of course, you start your analysis off from your market maker concepts like order blocks, liquidity, order flow. You start off there first, right? And you understand what is the macro direction first. But after that, the beauty of a heat map is that you can dive into it to check if your bias and your theory is correct. So in this instance, this is what I'm seeing. So I'm not confident that there is going to be none, but as you can see, even if I put the heat map down to the low, I take off any sort of requirement, 120, right? Take a look there. That's, you know, you have 15k over there. Okay, the next zone, which is barely visible, you have 6k Lunar at $150. So yeah, and this is at the lowest resolution. I usually keep it at like 75% resolution because I want to filter out most of the noise. I only want to see the big orders. So the big orders are like order like this, right? I tend to keep it at a really high resolution. Sorry, a really low resolution, right? I was putting it at like 0 over there. So is there a guarantee that there is going to be no resistance after $110? No, but if it builds up, you know, the heat map's going to be your best friend in that instance to see if there is anything building up. You know what I mean? Do I have a website? Yeah, it's in the description box below, theartofcrypto.co. You could give like 7 days free to try out your group on Discord. You know, funnily enough, that's why I opened up the Monday subscriptions. It is open permanently, 100 spots. You can go check it out on Patreon. There is a Patreon link down below as well if you just want to try it out for a month. You can do that. That's the reason why I kept it open. So now it's finally time to answer some questions. Hey man, loving the more frequent live streams. Good to have the finger on the pulse in these uncertain times. Much love to you, man. I will try to stream much more often from this point onwards. I find that it's a really good way to get some real quality work done and to connect with you guys. What are the best coins to buy if BTC bounces at 37k and what price to buy them at? So I would focus personally on coins like Waves that has been showing like mega oh boy, hey, oh man, I'm so salty. Like, wow, look at like, yeah, Waves, what a pleasant surprise. We're up 2x from the original entry, like 2x in 12 days. 2x, can you imagine it, guys? 2x. Sorry, not 2x, 3x. Wow. Yeah, so I would focus on coins like these that have mega momentum. I'm so proud of identifying Waves. Like, I knew it was gonna... Man. Brilliant. Wow, you love to see it. Seriously, you love to see it. Waves. When did I talk about Waves? Yeah, right there. Over the next couple of months. Sorry guys, I just have to post about this, man. Like, I am proud. I am so proud of calling this. Like, I knew it was gonna happen. I don't just come out and say randomly, like, hey, this coin's gonna be like a top performer. But when I do, you know, pay attention to it. This is why you follow me on my Twitter, yeah? So, yeah. Brilliant. And as for, okay, so Waves is going to be #1 on that spot to what coins you want to buy if you do get a pullback, right? Because it's showing a lot of momentum. So I'd say that another good consideration would be RUNE, because this thing is absolutely exploding. 6.2. Look at this guy. Like, this could be a sign of things to come for DeFi Perp. And for those of you wondering, I talked about DeFi Perp back here, right? At the bottom. At the exact bottom. Right there. So RUNE is clearly a top performer here. This is the exception, not the rule, because if you look at the other DeFi coins, for example, CRV is doing absolutely... CRV is actually looking pretty good, if I'm not... Ooh. Okay. CRV, I think I spot something here. Okay. Interesting. Well, I think we're onto something here, boys. Okay, not yet. Okay, maybe not yet, but it is starting to look good. Same setup as DeFi Perp from when I... Same setup from DeFi Perp when I first realized it. I will keep you guys posted, especially the people from the private Discord group. I have set a couple of alerts, so we will see how this plays out. But I am liking this so far. It is very close to bottoming out. Let's just say it that. Let's just say it like that. Daily chart. Yeah. Alright, we'll pay attention to this one. So, Aave. You look at the other coins, it's like, they're not really doing much. And by the way, guys, if you're watching this stream, seriously, go watch. I did 4 other streams this week on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. There is so much value in those streams, like way more than in this stream. So please do yourself a favor and check those guys out. I don't just shill something for the sake of shilling it, right? If I don't believe there's enough value for you guys, I don't talk about it. Like, actually, you know, most of the live streams I've done, I've actually went really deep into stuff. So all the live streams are good to go. If you guys got a weekend with nothing to do, you want to do something productive, check out those live streams. Okay, so let's take a look at LRC. LRC. Wow, what a fall from grace. What a fall from grace. I think it could start to be reversing soon. Could. Not yet, but could. I will set a couple of alerts on this one, and I will keep you guys posted, Marvy. Let's take a look at SCRT. Oh wait, no, that's not the one. Okay. Oh wow, this is can't really make much out of this one. I'm not sure actually. Wait, is this actually the one? Was this on Binance? Coinex? Yeah, Coinex, that's the one. Yeah, I was wondering because I took a trade on this recently at I forgot where I took the trade at. I think it was on the 12 hourly. That was a couple of months ago. I took a trade somewhere. Yeah, I took a trade here. I think that's the trade setup. I did a trade there, stop there, target there, and we hit like all the TPs. This was done in the private Discord group, by the way. There was an official call on this coin back then. So I was wondering, like, where was the previous price action? I don't remember this being so new in terms of price action. Right, okay, turns out I was just on the wrong chart. So, secret. Hello, Muffin. I see you on stream. Hey, Muffin, you're welcome back into the group anytime, yeah? Like, I would have totally missed your... your comment. But that name sort of looked familiar to me, so... Top 3 coins with volatility that will remain long term. Oh, that's a good question. I don't think I can narrow it down to 3 coins. But if it helps, right? If it helps, go bring up like some trading indicator strategy or whatever, like just the Bollinger Band breakout, for example. Go bring up that strategy, put your chart onto the Heikin-Ashi. Actually, I'll do it just to show you. The strategy tester, right? You want to bring up the strategy tester. Man, I forgot how to put up the strategy tester. Performance summary. It's supposed to show something. Bitcoin, maybe? No, that's weird. I forgot how to do it, but go bring up some random strategy and, like, for example, let's just do like a super trend strategy, for example, and find some way to bring up the strategy tester. It's supposed to give you a performance summary of like the list of trades and everything and the overview. I don't know why this is not bringing it up. It's supposed to, but go bring this up, bring any random alt strategy, put your chart onto Heikin-Ashi, and look for the coins that have historically performed like the best. For example, something like Ethereum is going to have much lower performance, than something like, say, Solana or RUNE. Like, RUNE is surprisingly very high volatility. It is surprisingly very high volatility. This thing always does well with like these strategies and these like algorithmic trading stuff. So bring up like some random indicator and go on coins that you think have high volatility, and the ones that net the highest return. Oh, I think I know what I was doing wrong. I was on the daily chart. Could that be it? No. It's supposed to work with the daily chart as well. That's weird. Like, you just want to test those strategies, you know what I mean? So you put on EMA strategy, right? And then you put on the Heikin-Ashi, and it's supposed to show you all the executions. It's supposed to give you a result. I'm not sure why mine isn't coming up, but you know, bring up a random alt strategy, go onto like the 4 hourly or the 1 hourly and look at the historical returns, right? The one that has sort of like really high returns, the higher it is, the more volatile it is. The more volatility the coin has. So I can't narrow it down to just 3 coins, but you could try it out with that strategy that I told you about. That's like a pretty solid way of identifying if the coin is volatile or not. Hope that helps. Also, you're welcome back into the Discord anytime, yeah, my friend? Anyways, getting back into SCRT, I'm sorry I got sidetracked over there. I'll probably just do like a couple more coins before I end the stream. It's been going on for a bit. So let's go back to SCRT and... So SCRT, you're at the range low, because if you take a look at the daily chart, right, that's a bullish order block right there. And, you know, it's very easy to visualize this as a range high, range low sort of setup, like a setup. You have... Oh, actually, this looks beautiful. So it's about to break out from the range low after filling in a bullish order block on the daily. So you could take a trade. Well, it's going to be at the weekend soon, so maybe not take a trade now, but keep this on your radar, targeting that previous high right there, because there is a mini range within this macro range as well, with that being the range high. So I'm going to set this on radar. I'm going to set a couple of alerts for this one, and I will continue to update, especially the folks in the private Discord group. Again, if you want to follow along exactly with, like, just, you know, exact trades, this is going to be the place to do it. Check out the link in the description box below. Okay, so SCRT, thank you so much for thank you so much for bringing that to my pattern, my friend. So PYR, fun fact, I'm very invested in this one. I am still looking at an entry at about $8.6. Maybe it might be time to remove that, because if something happens to Bitcoin, it's going to go way lower than 8.6. So I'll keep you guys posted, but absolutely, this is looking good. That's your range high right there. That is range low. Wait, no, that's not the range low. That's the range low. So let me remove that. So that's your range low right there. And that's your range high. You can see we're going back to range low, and you know, range trading is just simple, man. Don't overcomplicate it. So look for an entry at the range low. Look for an entry at look for an exit at the range high. Does not get simpler than that one. I will set a couple of alerts. Let me just type a couple of segments on PYR. In the meantime, if you've enjoyed the stream so far, please drop a like button. Seriously, helps out a lot. Okay, so PYR, let's take a look at a couple more coins before calling this trade an end. Thoughts about VET, VeChain, yeah, it's still looking good. That previous entry we hit, did we hit TPs? No, we haven't hit the TPs, but it was up a considerable amount. I still think this one is bullish because, you know, check out this pattern. It does not get more bullish than that. So yeah, I will be looking for a re-entry. Re-entry down there for sure. That is like liquidity, prime liquidity asking to be swept. So I'm going to look for some kind of an entry over there. I'm setting a bunch of alerts just so I am notified of what's going on, and I suggest you guys do the same. Alerts are like your best friend. You should be using this. I cannot do what I do without using alerts, so please set alerts, my friends. Update on HTR. I still think this is huge. Same setup with HTR. Same setup with VET. Like, breakout retest. Still looking brilliant, but there is a chance that you get a liquidity sweep at all of these levels before and all of those before you continue moving upwards. So I would be careful with HTR in the immediate short term. So I mentioned that KDA on Twitter, that KDA was one of my biggest bags. So what do I think about it short term, and what do I think about it long term? So long term, I think it's going to go to, currently it's at about a 1 billion market cap. Long term, I think it has the potential, it definitely has the potential to go to a 10 billion market cap, depending on how they play things. But a 10 billion market cap for what they're doing is not out of the question. So at the very least, you know, like $50, 55, or maybe even 80, right? Around that range. But that's going to be a while before that happens. Currently, technically speaking, it is in a reaccumulation pattern, right? If you zoom out onto the daily, you can see that it is in sort of like, it's forming some sort of a rounded bottom. So this is very bullish. You do not want to be sleeping on this right now, because it is at a very key accumulation zone, right? Those two blue boxes right there, that's the key accumulation zones. It's not really there yet, but you get the idea. So earlier today, I'll just talk about my short-term thoughts first. Short-term, I think it's going down because you just got listed on Binance. I actually posted on Discord just now. In fact, let me see if I can pull a screenshot. So right there, right, I secured some profit off KDA at 8.18 because just now it was at, for those of you wondering what happened with KDA, why it pumped all of a sudden, is because it got listed on Binance. So thank you to Marvi, who's in the private Discord. Thank you so much for shouting that out for me. I wouldn't have known otherwise because I don't keep up with news. But that's the reason why I secured my profit. For full disclosure, we actually got in first entry at 6.3 and the second entry, I think it was 4.9, so there, right there. It was not like, it was by no means like close to the bottom. The bottom was at 4.4, so we would have missed that by a bit, but does not change the fact that the average entry would be give or take about 5.5. You'd still be about 50% up. So yeah, again, if you want to follow along with those trades, check out the private Discord group. I think we got in here. So honestly, we should have taken profit there, but you know, nobody's perfect. So for those of you wondering, Binance listed KDA, and it is never a good idea to buy during a Binance listing, right? You always want to dump it, especially if you already bought before, because as you can see clearly, that was the right decision. It's at 7.2 now, so it's still like above our entry, but you know, it doesn't hurt to secure some profit here and then buy back lower, you know what I mean? So yeah, short term, I think it's going down. That's going to be a key level that you want to watch, that bullish order block right there. So look for a bounce somewhere about that bullish order block. Are we going to go back that low? Perhaps. Remember what I said about imbalances needing to be filled. So yeah, we could absolutely go that low. So I'll just set a couple of alerts, and that's the plan, right? Short term, no. Short term, it's going down. Long term, this is what I think. Hopefully that answers your question. Not sure if you spoke about the sentiment of the market and how it's being manipulated with price action. Lots of speculation towards both sides. Yeah, I talked about that. Honestly, it's actually one of the reasons why I'm hopping on live streams so often this week. And I should have honestly done it like starting 2-3 weeks ago when the volatility really started to pick up. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why I'm on live a lot more. But anyways, remember, check out the private Discord group if you want to level up your trading game. And hopefully this stream has been of some value to you. If it has been, please comment out in the comment section macro. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm out a lot. I will hopefully catch you on Sunday or Monday. I'll probably take a break tomorrow, who knows. But for those of you here, you know, I appreciate you guys always. For now, I'm going to end the stream here. And remember to watch the 4 previous live streams. Seriously, there's so much value in those live streams that it will not be a waste of your time by any stretch of the imagination, yeah? So, seriously, please do. With that said though, may the gains be with you, my friend.